Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Darius, aka The Chosen One, here to record episode 3 of my spoken word series. Where today I'll be talking about a very well known topic that people really talk about a lot in today's society, and that's respect. And how can we use respect to better ourselves in society and at the same time to better society itself? Well, when we take a look at the word respect, it's a very touchy topic to talk about because with respect comes honor, it comes favor, it comes certain privileges, and when you stop and think about privileges and stuff like that, then you're trying to say that obviously someone is more deserving than you are. So I took a little bit of time to do some research on the word respect, and I found a lot of information. Webster's dictionary defines the word respect as high or special regard, to show high or special regard for. So if you respect someone, then you more or less you hold high regard of them. You're saying that okay, they're definitely this type of person. This high ranking person. Like, let's take for example the military. We have a very high respect for our men and women in the military because of what they do every day to sacrifice their lives to save all of ours. That's the highest respect anyone could ever gain. You know, so then they defined it to say to consider deserving of high regard or refrain. Well, okay, I'm not gonna read that one yet. So, to consider deserving of high regard. Okay, so you could also say, okay, this person deserves respect. Now, now that I've taken it to in that direction, I would like to pose a question to everyone, and that's what, not more or less what, but what. But do you get respect for the things that you do? And do you get respect for who you are as a person? Now, I pose that question because in today's society, we have a lack of respect for people. Some people don't have a respect for authority. That's why we have jails. That's why we have prisons. You know, people who go in there do not have respect for authority. Um, and on top of not having a respect for authority, you have those who don't have respect for public property. They go out to people's places, their shops and all that, and they destroy them, and they commit arson and all that. And at the same time, you have people who don't have respect for one another. And not just because of the color of someone's skin, but because of who someone is as a person, what someone does, their sexuality, you know, the things the food they decide to eat, the clothes they decide to wear. You know, you don't have respect for the fact that those are the things that they like to do, or they decide to wear, or that's the food they decide to eat, the people they decide to hang around. You know, like a black or African American doesn't get respect when they have a high number of white friends. A lot of people in the African American community will look at an African American who has 4 or 5 white friends and say to that person, okay, well, you have 4 or 5 white friends, so you aren't deserving of our respect. Where where Caucasians would look at another Caucasian who had 4 or 5 black friends and say, well, you have black friends, so you're not deserving of our respect. Another way to look at the word respect is in essence of giving it. I don't know if anyone else has ever had people in their business that don't need to know exactly about what's going on with them. For example, there was one event in my life where, where actually recent, where I have family members who tend to share information with other family members about me that I don't like them to share. Like, let's say if I'm in the house and I'm busy doing something, and there may be in the sink a stack of dishes. The dishes in the sink, they might not get washed until after I'm finished what I'm doing. So I'll hear someone talking to another family member on the phone, like maybe an aunt or uncle that doesn't really come over my house or see me, and they may be saying to them, oh, well, they don't clean up and they don't do this and they don't do that. I don't like it when you say things like that. You're disrespecting me in a sense, because you're not having respect for the fact that the current house you're staying in, and let's say if that is maybe my grandmother or somebody saying something like this, then I'm going to feel like I'm not being respected because you're visiting our house. You don't have to stay here, So since you don't have to stay here, you don't have to be here in the house. We can let you go home. And if you don't like the way things are here, you can go home, And I'm pretty sure that anyone else faced with the same similar situation would do the same thing. They would tell them, well, you don't have to stay here, you can go home. So giving someone respect is a very key thing in improving ourselves as a people. And this is not just African Americans, but Caucasians, people in general. If we do not improve ourselves, then we're just conforming to regular standards and trying and allowing ourselves to be just like everyone else. We're falling into the crowd. We have no uniqueness. Without that uniqueness, there's nothing that makes us stick out from everybody else. If you want to try to go and get a job and you happen to wear the same type of dress style as everyone else, and you go to stand in that line, if there's nothing unique about you, when you go to apply for that job, you're not going to stand out. You're not going to get the job because there's no uniqueness to you. You fall in the same category as everyone else. If we have people with a uniqueness to them, then they could gain better opportunities at getting a better job, getting into a certain school, getting a lot of high regards about them, gaining respect. In order to gain respect, you have to give respect. Everyone knows that. That's common sense, So the word respect comes from Latin origin that says respectus, which means to treat with deferential regard or esteem. So to treat with a certain type of honor, So the men and women in the military aren't the only ones who can gain respect. We all can gain respect. And to tell the truth, by regular standards, everyone deserves respect. So, let's say that if your kids are in their room a lot, give them respect and stay out of their room. Now, yes, as the adult, now I say if your child is maybe like 17 and below, okay, you can't go in their room. 18, yeah, you have the right to. Or should that be the other way around? Yeah, it's the other way around. 18, you don't have the right to because now they're an adult. Anything below that, you have the right to go into their room. So, now the reason I chose to do this video on respect was because I feel like in today's society we don't have a lot of respect for one another. We say things we don't mean about people, and at the end of the day, we can't take those things that we say back. Some people don't have respect for the President of the United States of America. Regardless of the fact that he's an African American, he's still the President of the United States of America, and you should give him respect. Some of these politicians, they slander each other during these political races to try to get into the White House or become a governor or whatever. They don't have respect for one another, and to run that type of campaign, it's ridiculous. Society has always been the type of it has always been the type of life where there are certain things you do not have to hold into regard. Like, at one point in society, Caucasians were thought to be better than African Americans. At one time, Caucasians were thought to be better than, Hispanics. At one time, you had cool kids over the geeks and nerds. But now we need those geeks and nerds in today's society, because who are going to be the people that's going to help us advance further? Who's going to give us our next iPad? Who's going to give us our next iPhone? Who's going to give us the next laptop? Our next flat screen TVs? Without those geeks and those nerds to work on those things, we can't advance as a civilization. The popular kids aren't going to do it, but we need those popular kids too, because those popular kids they can come out there, they have a certain look to them. If we want fashion, there you go. We can have the popular kids do that. So everyone has their own job to do in life and has their own position where they can gain respect. So I want to pose this challenge to everyone out, everyone. Take a look at the ones that you hold respect for in your house and the people you hold respect for around you, and see if they hold that same type of respect for you. If you and that person hold the same type of respect, then the two of you should be commended for it, because not a lot of people in today's society has respect for the next person, or the person next to them, or someone around them, or someone else, period. So I believe that society needs to develop more respect for itself and for one another in order for it to grow. So I'm going to be recording my next video, which will be episode 4, where I'm going to be talking about that mushy feeling. I'm going to be talking about love and how we need to have love in society. Without it, we really more or less are like barbarians. We're like savages. Without love, there really is nothing else. So join me as I record episode 4 of my spoken word series, where I will be talking about love. Thank you.